and is representing
Former Vice President Namadi Sambo is among several dignitaries that grace this annual colloquium on electoral and judicial reform. Those in attendance include serving and former governors, federal lawmakers, heads of government agencies, and legal experts. Governor Muftwang of Plateau State delivered the keynote address, and he spoke from his experience during the litigation that trailed his emergence as the winner of the governorship election.
When elections have been contested, won and lost, you are put through a grilling process that is expensive. I call it some bit of emotional terrorism to go through what some of us went through while waiting for the final court to pronounce on our electoral destiny. And having put in over 30 years at the bar, I began to question my knowledge of the law.
The governor's thoughts on electoral reform reverberates in other parts of Africa.
We need to actually have voter education. We need to discuss how do we get service-oriented and service-driven people into offices.
The call to critically examine the nation's electoral laws is also highlighted by a senior advocate of Nigeria and human rights lawyer, Mr. Femi Falana.
Senior lawyer deliberately sabotage the electoral system for many. What is the business of the court in determining who won an election and who didn't win? Judges are not suited, if you must know. Judges are not suited to determine winners of elections. How do we reform the system to the extent that the winners of election will be determined by the people, the electorate, and not by the judges?
The dialogue aims to sustain conversations that will improve the electoral process in Nigeria.
A sense of sincerity in trying to put together a position for this nation where we will have a free and fair election.
The expectation here is that the recommendations made are expected to engender a more transparent, inclusive, and democratic electoral process that will ultimately lead to the emergence of competent leaders that will steer Nigeria towards accelerated development and progress. Victoria Longjan for Channels Television News.